When you need to build up your team to handle the growing chaos at work, use Indeed Sponsored Jobs. It gives your job post the boost it needs to be seen and helps reach people with the right skills, certifications, and more. Spend less time searching and more time actually interviewing candidates who check all your boxes. Listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. That's Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Need a hiring hero? This is a job for Indeed Sponsored Jobs.
Live from New York. It's a show that misses the World Cup, which means the show is going to just be a little wacky.
I really do. I'm going to keep it real.
We've got a show today, tomorrow, and Thursday, and then we're on vacation. So these next 3 days are going to be a little experimental.
We got to put our game face on.
We do.
I got to show up.
I'm actually saying the opposite.
Just like France in the third place
game.
Then we are saying the same thing.
You got to show up.
You got to show up, but it's going to be a little silly.
Can I say one thing with Brou saying he misses it? There's been very few things in the last year of the show that have made me happier than watching Brou, as the tournament went along, get more and more and more into it.
That's very true.
Like, you know what I like? You're a pro, so at the beginning you did the work and you were ready for it, but I don't know how excited you were. But by the end, you were into it. I loved it.
By the end, you got once you started to get everything.
That was like awesome.
That did help.
I may never have that type of world.
Also, coming up today, you were right about another thing, a prediction yesterday. I added it to the show today.
Really?
Mm-hmm. First hour, first things first.
I'm intrigued.
It's in winners and losers. Today, NFL 100. Bo Nix, 10 spots above Lamar.
Really? This is what we're doing?
It's this fair. It's leading
well,
the
it's
show.
what the players are doing, not us.
I don't.
Meanwhile, after not making the playoffs, is the Chiefs' dynasty stalled in progress or absolutely over? And finally...
Are we doing that in like 30 seconds?
Look,
We normally don't do a tease of something we're starting the show.
You want more Zach Ricochet news?
Okay, good point.
Okay. You know, Dallas has 3 first-round number 1 overall picks.
Oh, yeah.
So do the Wizards. We're going to lead with that.
Good point.
Okay? It's 50 days to
Wizards
football.
are making some noise. Sort of Hawks.
Yeah, noise like this.
Some people think the Jazz might be scarier this year.
The Jazz are going.
They're going to be improved.
Did I tell you I'm a Darren Peterson guy?
Well, that's fine, but that doesn't mean they're going to be good this year. And also LeBron, is his decision coming soon? No, it's not.
Nope.
Not at all.
Nope, you gotta wait.
Not even close.
You
It'll
gotta wait.
probably come when we're on vacation, and I don't even mean the vacation
Good
that's
chance.
coming up. It could be the vacation after.
We're starting in Kansas City. Yahoo Sports' Frank Schwab has got the Chiefs ranked 12th, just ahead of the 49ers. The headline here.
Right.
Number 12, Kansas City Chiefs. They get to answer whether their dynasty is over.
Great.
Schwab writing one of the NFL's biggest storylines this season will be where the Chiefs stand in their dynasty, if the dynasty is still in progress at all.
And this is the nicer of the major articles about the Chiefs today.
What other
This
one?
just came out right before the show. Friend of the show, Connor Orr of Sports Illustrated.
Oh, I like Connor Orr.
You love him when he's ripping Is that the one that rips?
No.
He likes
that's
No,
not
he's a
Connor
Boston guy.
This is he does the 99 bold predictions. You're
those
thinking
are
of Grant
bold.
Cohn or something. But no, he wrote an article. 14 teams can win this year's Super Bowl, and the Chiefs are not one of the 14.
Who was the? We should have done that.
Oh, well, it just came out.
But is that a bold prediction?
No,
like
it was the cover of the Digital Sports Illustrated. So this is in the zeitgeist, if you will. So
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Is the Chiefs dynasty still in progress?
So listen, first I want to be fair to what I consider the dynasty rules and want everyone else to be fair to how they consider them. I look at the Patriots with Brady and Belichick as 2 separate dynasties. I look at it as 2 separate dynasties.
Like an ending.
I look at it as one.
I know you look at it as one. And so the reason, if you look at the Patriots as 01 to 18 as one dynasty, then as long as Mahomes and Andy are there, it's never eligible to be over. Like the Patriots went 10 years without winning a Super Bowl. They missed the playoffs in that stretch. They went 3 straight years without winning a playoff game. And if you think it's one continuous dynasty, then the only way it can be over is like we know it's definitively over because the guys are gone, and then we could look back and say it ended earlier than
even
we
then,
thought.
like gap year.
There you go.
Gap year,
Whatever it is.
Gap decade.
But that's not how I view that as 2 separate dynasties, and so it's certainly by my own rules, it's eligible to be over. Like, it could be over. I just don't think it is. And I think people have drastically overstated how rough the last few years for the Chiefs have been, because Patrick statistically has not been elite the last few years. In the last 3 years, no team in the league has been more successful. No team. They have been to more Super Bowls than any team in the league in the last 3 years. They've won one. The Seahawks have won one. The Eagles have won one. If you want to argue the Eagles because they beat the Chiefs head up in a Super Bowl, over the last 4, it's the Chiefs by a lot. Because the Chiefs have won 2, and nobody else is. So I went as small as possible because of that. Even including last year's 6-win season. They have 38 total wins over the last 3 years. Only Philly and Buffalo have more, both with 40. But here's the part, Brou, that I think everyone is kind of misremembering about last year. Last year, at the midway point of the season, they were the favorites to win the Super Bowl. The odds entering week 9, the Chiefs are the favorites.
What was their record at this point?
5-3. After the tough start, there was the tackle that turned the tide, and people really believed in that.
Oh, yeah.
And they had scored 30 in 4 straight games. Mahomes was playing great to the tune of, those are at least close.
None of those teams.
All those teams.
Well, the Packers, the Bills were at least made it.
That's all fair. I'm just saying that it was less year from hell than second half of the season from hell. At that same moment, Mahomes wasn't just the favorite to win the MVP. He was the massive favorite to win the MVP. Almost even money, again, at the midway point of the season. Now, from that moment forward, they only won 1 more game. Patrick played terribly, and he blew out his knee. But that, to me, was far more about the fact that they had played 4 consecutive 20 or 21 game seasons. They had been to 3 consecutive Super Bowls. They had they did have the kind of hangover, if you will, of we were a game away from becoming the greatest team of all time. We fell short, and this year's harder than we wanted it to be. And they finally, for the first time in the Mahomes era, let go of the rope. But in the last 7 years, they've been to 5 Super Bowls. So they need more than one down year to say, yeah, they're done. I think it's crazy to say that it's not still in progress. Maybe we'll look back and say, nope, they weren't the same. But ending it now, I think, would be nuts.
One thing in that article, he pointed out how most of the dynasties never had a losing record. Like the Patriots, if you can consider it one dynasty or 2, under Brady, they missed the playoffs the 1 year after his first Super Bowl. And then they missed it with Matt Castle, but they never had a losing record. The Steelers of the 70s, once they got rolling, never had a losing record for almost a decade. The Niners didn't under Montana and Young, except the second year, the year after they won the first Super Bowl was a strike-shortened season, and for some reason they were 3-6. But most of he mentioned the Packers under Lombardi never had a losing record.
They didn't have a year as bad as the Chiefs.
That's unique.
Yes.
And beyond that, there are reasons to say it's over. One is Mahomes coming off the bad knee injury, okay?
Sure.
And as Nick said, his last 3 seasons, individually from a statistical standpoint, he hasn't been great. Kelsey, obviously, his age, not the same. Andy Reid is not immune to a bad stretch, like his last 2 years in Philly, losing records, no winning records, missed the playoffs both times. And I think the personnel is questionable. I think the receiving core, if whole, can be good, but Worthy,
it's an unimpressive receiving.
Right, Rashee Rice, we'll see how when he's back. And then defensively, they lost, 3/4 of their defensive backfield. So they got replacements, but we'll have to see how good those guys are. So I think there are reasons to think the dynasty is over. I'm going to put my faith in Mahomes, and I'm different than you in that I do consider Brady one dynasty over 19 years. Yeah. I consider Tim Duncan. They went 7 years without winning it, from 07 to 14. I consider them one dynasty. The reason I do that, Nick, is because they were always good. Like the Patriots, even though they went a decade without winning it, I mean, they had what we might think is their best team ever with Randy Moss, and they just didn't win the Super Bowl. They were always in the mix, always in the playoffs.
Well, they went 3 years. That Pats team, so like after that, the undefeated season, and then the next year obviously was the year their quarterback blew out his knee and they missed the playoffs. They had 3 years in a row where they didn't win a playoff game.
Right.
They got annihilated by Baltimore in the Ray Rice playoff game, 33-14, and they lost a home playoff game to Mark Sanchez and the Jets. And then then starting from 11 to 18, they made 5 Super Bowls in 8 years, and they won 3 of them. I feel like if the Chiefs the next 2 years don't win a playoff game, people will say, obviously, definitively, clearly it's over. And they will be on the exact Patriots schedule, except will have been to one more Super Bowl.
And they will have had
that Pats team
a losing record.
And a losing record season. Yeah.
Now, I tend to agree. As long as Mahomes is there and in his prime and playing well, I feel like the dynasty is still kind of, as long as they're in the mix and making some noise,
That's what
getting
I feel.
to the playoffs. And
I have the exact opposite of an analytical dynasty definition. I'm more of a hearts and minds guy, which I think is where you're at. The Patriots always felt like the team to beat. Even if they didn't win a Super Bowl, they're like, oh, we're going to circle this game. And I still feel like the Chiefs have that in the national stage and with opponents. Primetime games, the Rams have 7 this year. Bills, Cowboys, Seahawks, Packers, and Chiefs have 6. If that number ever starts to dip, like if it was like, 4, and there's a bunch of teams above them, I'm like, the dynasty really is over. America has moved on. But if I still think people are looking at their schedule like, and we've got the Chiefs. Even more so if you have got the Chiefs and the Seahawks on your schedule. Okay, well, we got Kansas City that day. So I still think that.
I think Mahomes would have to fall off for the dynasty. And for him to fall off after 9 years would be unprecedented. Like no player at his level has ever fallen off after
fallen off or just become above average?
Like not be a great player.
He's always going to be great. I think. Yeah.
I think he will, but I'm just saying. I think as long as he's great, I think the dynasty is potentially there.
I also, and I know we got to move on. I do think there's not a benefit to the year they had. Certainly, there's no benefit to Patrick blowing out his knee. But part of the reason that I think they are still the team to beat in the AFC is because none of these guys beat them last year. Like, had they, let's say
Lamar didn't take the throw.
Well, and they didn't. Let's say Patrick doesn't blow out his knee and they sneak into the playoffs. Well, like, remember when I was doing this has to happen and this has to happen, and they're 9-8 as a wild card, and they get clipped by any of those guys in round 1 of the playoffs. That almost, to me, would be a bigger puncture of their invincibility than they missed the playoffs entirely. Like the fact that all those other AFC quarterbacks, except for Joe, and it's been a while since he was there, still have only lost to him in the playoffs. That Mahomes has, 4 career playoff losses, and 2 are to Brady, 1's in the Super Bowl, and then the 1 to Joe Burrow. Right. It's different than had they made the playoffs and just gotten beaten by the Chargers in round 1. That almost
would be
feel
ridiculous. That would if you lose to Justin Herbert, the dynasty is over.
Speaking of ridiculous,
Chiefs open their season against this guy, Bo Nix, coming in at 59 on the NFL Top 100, 3 spots ahead of the Prince, Trevor Lawrence, 10 spots ahead of Lamar. Now that does seem outrageous when you say it out loud, but when you look at the numbers, Brou, more yards, more touchdowns, and a tidy 8 more wins than Lamar. Do you have an issue with Bo being this far ahead of your guy Lamar?
Numbers, schmumbers.
I mean, it's not.
I don't know.
Then he's going to be like, look at the passer rating.
Do you have an issue with Fred Van Vliet being ahead of Anthony Edwards? I don't know. Brandon Ingram's better than Giannis. This is what we're saying. Lamar Jackson has 2 MVPs, and Bo Nix doesn't even have 2 or 1 Pro Bowl appearance. And we know how easy it is to get in the Pro Bowl nowadays.
Broke his ankle.
In the playoffs.
Okay. I think he would have made the playoff.
No, he would not have.
He wouldn't have made the Pro Bowl.
He hasn't. He hasn't made a Pro Bowl.
Okay.
And he's better than Lamar Jackson. He shouldn't. I have a problem with him being 10 centimeters in front of Lamar Jackson. I actually have a problem with him being 10 spots behind Lamar Jackson. He should be 20, 30 spots behind Lamar. What are we talking about? All right, Lamar Jackson, people don't understand injuries. He was injured last year, and as you showed
hurt. He was hurt.
Okay, hurt. But he was hampered by his being hurt, and still had a passer rating light years ahead of light years.
I knew that one.
Passer rating is important. No, yards per attempt.
The yards per
way
attempt
ahead
for Bo
of
Nix were tough.
No, look,
6.4 is a tough number, but go ahead.
I'm baffled, and I honestly, players, I got nothing but love and respect for y'all, but this is embarrassing.
This
isn't embarrassing.
Yeah. So this is, but your issue. Let me just ask. I want to dig in seriously for a moment. I feel like what you're saying is your issue is not so much that Nix is 59. It's that Lamar is where he is.
I think Lamar is too. Now, look, they didn't give him any grace for being hurt, as you said. Which is surprising because players generally like him, but, you know.
So my takeaway, did I interrupt you?
No.
My takeaway is multi-layered here. First one's this. The players are worried that Lamar's best days are behind him. There's no other way to read this ranking, because it is not purely historically we don't care at all about body of work. We don't care at all about if we think you're going to bounce back. It is just evaluation of last season. That is not how this list has been done in the past. So him being this low means there are at least whoever's, and again, this is a very cagey how this list works and who votes and how they vote. But Lamar historically has done, I think, way overperformed in this list, in my opinion.
You mean been higher?
Yeah, I think Lamar back-to-back years
He's been
was
top
number
a few
2.
times.
Yeah, it's been the top quarterback and the number 2 player. I've never thought he was the number 1 quarterback in the league, even when he was coming off an MVP. So I thought historically, I feel like Lamar has been a guy players have held in even higher esteem than I do, and now this list comes in and it's like, they're holding him in lower esteem than me. So that's the Lamar piece of it. The Bo Nix piece of it. My problem is with the question, because there's a far bigger outrage, and it's
being ahead of Trevor.
Well, I don't have to do any. Yeah, he was
Trevor
hurt. Yeah,
went
he was
into
this.
Denver and took him up.
Here's what I know. I know that Trevor and Bo Nix played last year. Trevor was the better player.
Trevor was great. That would have been Trevor's best game.
They played head-to-head, and Trevor absolutely annihilated him. Trevor had 8 more touchdowns, has more yards per pass, doesn't have the great Sean Payton. I understand 14 wins, 13 wins, so be it. I thought Trevor played great in the playoff loss to the Bills. Bo Nix played really well in a playoff win to the Bills, so I get that piece of it. Here is the thing that I will say. If someone, are you going to make the case for Bo Nix? Because I have some.
Yeah, someone's got to. So I realized I'm the Bo Nix guy.
So I didn't know if you were going to, because my third point was going to be you should be a Bo Nix guy.
Okay, I don't want to be the Bo Nix guy, but Bo Nix needs to be represented on the show.
Yeah.
So if I have to be the Bo Nix guy,
I have some evidence to help you.
So here's my evidence. You know what I love more than everything else? Advanced analytics? No, wins, baby.
Yeah.
Since he came into the league, he's 4th in wins. He's 24-10. Now, all the other numbers, completion percentage, that used to matter when I was growing up.
Wow.
So, but it's 64.
This
so it's
doesn't
20.
Help him. I thought you were trying to
I'm
help
a wins
him.
guy. But completion percentage, Drake Maye is number 1. No one cares anymore. So I guess 20th doesn't matter either. Total yards about 250. 63 touchdowns, 25. It's 12th. That's about where he is. I do like head-to-head, right? So he went head-to-head. It's the same thing you were saying about Trevor. Went head-to-head with Josh Allen, outplayed Josh Allen. Went head-to-head with Trevor outplayed him in Denver. That was like the first win in decades in Denver. 4 TDs against Jordan Love. That was with no Micah. He went out in the game. Beat Mahomes, didn't throw a touchdown, but had almost 300 yards. Dak had 4 touchdowns on that porous Dallas defense. And then Jalen Hurts, who is my patron saint of just win, he had 2 touchdowns and a field goal in that game. It was like that epic comeback in the fourth quarter. It was a bad game for Jalen. So he has beaten. He's got a lot of pelts on the wall.
So this is the argument for him is he's in a quarterback class that we talk about as one of potentially the best ever. One as far as 6 first-round picks, all of that. And the wins amongst those quarterbacks, if you can show them, Dust, he's crushing. It's a lot. Like, again, I'm not a Bo Nix guy, but if you want to make the argument of the guy's got the winning gene plus he is clutch, you have evidence for both pieces.
Yep.
So there's the wins. Yep. And then here's the story on Bo Nix last year was, until his team got down, he was legitimately bad. And he was a big part of the reason they would trail. But once they trailed, he did cook.
21-3. That's the Giants game was crazy. The Eagles game was crazy.
The Chiefs game, it hurts my heart when Sean Payton came out at halftime and he was like, basically we've got them where we want them. We're a second-half team. And I thought in that playoff game against the Bills, he thoroughly outplayed Josh Allen. I don't really believe in him, but that's the argument for him.
I have a new take. I have a new segment I'm going to invent.
What?
But you guys all need to co-sign it.
Well,
and Miles is running our social media. Miles and Gianna run our social media. I need you to co-sign it as well. It's called a Men in Black take. Okay? You've seen the movie Men in Black?
Yeah, the neuralizer, the flash.
You can say a take, but then you guys can never bring it up again.
No, I don't. No. I don't accept.
But it's good for the show. But if you say, hey, this is an MIB take, you can never be like, you said it. But it's interesting for the conversation.
Go ahead.
We don't know. I could see. It's a Men in Black take. I can just say it because then you guys will forget it. He could have easily beaten the Patriots in the snow if he played. Rick, get back on me.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Just say it.
I mean, Jared Stidham almost.
Yeah, he could have been in the Super Bowl.
He would
have looked better against that Seahawks.
I don't know about that. Head down to Philadelphia, where Nick Sirianni is embracing technology, and we did this story.
He's been in the weight room.
Zach Berman writing The Athletic that Sirianni was worried that his motivational stories were getting a little long in the tooth after 6 years. So he started using ChatGPT to find more inspiration. The prompt he would type in, quote, "Give me a great, relentless effort, true sports story." Brou, your reaction to Nick Sirianni using ChatGPT to unearth great, relentless effort, true sports stories.
I'm going to be honest. I don't have a problem with it. What's the difference than this and Pat Riley, Bill Parcells reading a book about somebody? Or going to the library and asking, where's some books about, really inspirational sports?
It's a little bit of a difference. It shows more effort.
It's not you knowing that. It's not like you're telling a story from your personal experience or you knowing something. It's research. The way we research now is AI, internet, versus.
I'm up there grinding the tape.
Now, here's the issue I have. He should have kept it to himself.
Well,
let your players be like, man, where's Coach get these stories from? My goodness. But now you're out there next time you tell a great story, players going to be like, man, I could have looked that up on freaking ChatGPT. I got ChatGPT too. Coach, I know how it is. Coach, it's got
So here, I was ready to not like this story because I am, as the show's grandfather, anti-AI.
Of course.
I've never used it in any real capacity. I'm sure I'm behind the times. I'm sure in 5 years.
Not even for a recipe?
No. I'm sure in 5 years I'm going to look back and be like, I don't understand it as well as other people because I was late to it. And my general thought on it is it's because it is becoming a substitute for people to use their own brain power and their own thought process. But when I read this article, I came to almost identical conclusion of Brou, which is, this is not that different than just Googling relentless sports story and doing it. He's just trying to short circuit the research and then do the reading on his own. So that part individually I don't have a problem with, even though I was prepared to if it was, ChatGPT, write me a speech. My problem is very similar to yours. The day before the World Cup started, we had a long Nick Sirianni profile on The Athletic by Mike Silver, where he talked about how Sirianni's a hothead, but don't call him a phony. And when he yelled at that poor guy who was painting a school or something, he's like, "Why are you wearing Giants jersey, jackass?" And then he's like, in front of the journalists. Now, the day after the World Cup, we have The Athletic, my old radio buddy from college, Zach Berman, another profile on Nick Sirianni. Too many profiles, buddy. I understand you are trying to, there's a bit of a Philadelphia Eagles narrative, hot seat, this information war. Andy Reid's, one of the 4 greatest coaches of all time. I feel like there have been more profiles written about Nick Sirianni in the last 6 months than there have been Andy Reid in the last 6 years. I think Sean McVay once every 2 years. You know what I mean? There's a long profile written about him. Yeah. Shanahan, it's just like his beard just gets grayer and grayer. Sirianni is very open to letting the world in. Here is what makes me tick. And it's a little doth protest too much for my liking. With that said, I don't actually now, since I read the article, great job by Zach Berman, have an issue with it.
Before we go, I will tell you the 3 prompts. I put the prompt in and I was fed 3.
Okay, please.
Relentless efforts. I'll give you the top 2. Number 1. This guy was working at a grocery store, bro.
Kurt Warner.
Really?
Ends up being the Super Bowl MVP.
Kurt Warner.
Kurt Warner. Can you believe it? Greatest show on turf. Number 2. You'll never believe this one. You'll never believe this.
The first one was obvious.
Because heck, anybody halfway decent at basketball
I knew it was going to be Michael Jordan didn't make his varsity. I know.
That's second?
Cut from varsity to the greatest. Number 3, Bethany Hamilton got a shark bite and she was back surfing. That one actually is pretty good.
First 2, the guy who cut his own arm off when he was. They made a movie about it.
48 hours?
72 hours.
How many hours was he on?
7 hours.
Yeah.
38 hours.
That's tough one. Could you cut your own arm off?
I don't know.
No.
I don't know.
When you're underneath a boulder, though.
It
is.
You never know what you could do in that situation.
In the morning meeting, I said we could skip that story because we'd be on until 27. What time is it?
Almost on the dot.
Hey, check out the podcast. It's been great. And our YouTube footage and our social media footage has just been fantastic. So give it a subscription.
When you see yourself in that Spain jersey, do you feel a little shame?
I mean, you've got 3 hats on. Who are you to lecture me on switching your teams once or twice?
He got you there, Dick. He got you there.
You know what? It was bad timing.
The fact that they won.
Good take. You know what? Good take. I got to take that out.
LeBron not on the clock. Rich Paul outlining the schedule or lack thereof with Max Kellerman on their podcast, Game Over. Take a listen.
None of these people know anything. Nobody knows nothing. And I say that respectfully because we haven't made it to where anybody knows anything. We're not making this about attention and a spectacle. It's not about a decision or anything like that. He has a choice to make. He has a business choice to make. We're not going to sit here and decide or allow someone else to decide when he makes that decision or that choice. It's a business choice that he's making.
Do you like how this is played out?
Listen, shout out Rich and Max. And I got to say, I underestimated that podcast when it first came out. I remember when they first did their first episode, and they were in the nice studio. I was like, that looks great, but how often are they going to be together? Rich is always traveling. They've taken it very, very seriously.
And it consistently makes news.
Consistently
not just about LeBron.
Right. And so, the whiteboard thing was one of my favorite things. It also is a unique role because if you're an agent, you almost at times would have to not necessarily lie, but can't tell.
It's hard, right?
Right, it's hard to whatever.
You can't just tell everything.
I truly believe what he said there that we played is the truth, and what I would add is this. I do not think this is taking so long because LeBron is trying to time the announcement for perfect media cycle. I think it is taking this long because LeBron has not decided. I truly believe that LeBron has narrowed it down to 4 teams, the 4 teams being the teams that everyone is talking about, the Heat, the Sixers, the Cavs, and the Warriors. I do not believe there is a team that is like, barely holding on to 4th place, and I do not believe there is a team way out ahead of the pack, and I think it is something he has not yet decided on. And so, and I say that because of my gut and because of a little information. And so I think that he's going to take as long as it takes him to make his decision, and any of these teams, Brou, are obviously welcome and able at any point to call Rich and be like, hey, we're out. Right. We don't want to wait any longer, but there's no other real business to be done for these teams anyway. It's not like they're waiting to sign some major free agent that now can't be done. So I think LeBron's allowed to take as long as he wants, and I'm fine with it.
Yeah, I don't have an issue with how long it's taking. It's his decision. He can do what he wants. The teams, as you said, Nick, don't have to wait for him. The league doesn't have to wait for him. They can go ahead and make the schedule if they want without, knowing where he's at.
Sure.
What's interesting about you, I'm not sure. I feel like he's going to Cleveland. I feel like, not from no one to report it, but like he's known he's going to Cleveland, or at least leaning that way. And I think what's odd about not, like you said, he hadn't made his decision. He's not taking, according to Rich, they're not doing any, maybe they're researching on their own, but they're not taking pitches from teams. They're not bringing in Pat Riley to talk to him, or Spoelstra about what the team's going to look like, or talking to Steve Kerr, or, as far as we know from the reporting. So that's odd. I think, though, he may be talking it over really with his family. It may be, because basketball-wise, I don't know how long it'll take to decide, okay, you got Giannis and these guys, kind of like Rich put up, all the advantages and disadvantages of going to one of these 4 teams. But your family situation, that's a lot to think of. His daughter is, I think, close 12. To junior high, 12 years old. His wife, obviously the boys are, out there in college or above. But that's a big family decision at that time. Will you be away from them? Will they go with you? What cities would they go to you with? So I think that's probably what it is, and I'm fine with him taking his time.
He knows the rosters forwards and back. He knows the cities largely. Maybe there's an element of like different schools that are a better fit, or whatever the personal issues that they need to solve. Do you think there's anything to more roster moves happening? Where all of a sudden Kyrie's on one of these teams, or all of a sudden Joel Embiid is not on one of these teams.
I do not believe, this is complicated, I do not believe LeBron is waiting for one of these teams to sweeten the pot, so to speak. Waiting for, James Harden to be signed and traded somewhere else, or I think that there was a time, this is just me reacting to what other people have reported, not doing my own reporting on this. I think there was a time where LeBron was hoping the Warriors were going to get Anthony Davis. It seems like that ship has sailed. I do not think LeBron is waiting on this thing I'm about to say. This is my own reading of tea leaves. One of the biggest things the Warriors people are saying have going for them is his relationship with Draymond Green. I do not think necessarily the only way LeBron James can play next year with Draymond Green is him sign with the Warriors. Draymond Green is still a free agent. And I do think that is, I don't know how much that is going to play into any of this, but I think it is a non-zero possibility that Draymond and LeBron are teammates next year, and it's not in Golden State.
Oh, that would be.
So do you think it's limited to those teams?
I think it's those 4 teams, and what you're about to say is the fit on those for
Well, Miami would, unless it had to be a sign and trade, I guess, for Draymond. What you're talking about for any of these teams.
I think.
I don't think Draymond's taking that.
I think one of the teams that, if a team could offer LeBron the mid-level, I think they could offer Draymond the mid-level if LeBron was going to take the minimum.
He opted out of more money, and he hadn't made what LeBron's made.
No, again, that's why I'm just, it has been, to me, Draymond's contract and future with the Warriors has been underreported as far as from people that could have better sourcing with the Warriors than me about what that's going to be. I have, vacillated massively on where I think he's going, where I think the fit is. It, again, just feeling the way the wind is blowing, because Rich is correct that they are not talking to anyone about where they're leaning. There's flatly not. It did feel to me that over the weekend when LeBron put to voice what I had been saying for a while, which is he is not planning, doesn't mean he won't, but he is not planning to play just one more year necessarily. I think that helped Miami more than any other place. I think that if this is a more than 1 year thing, I think the infrastructure of Riley and Spo it becomes such a bigger asset than if it's just 1 year. If it's just 1 year, then how much does it matter who the GM is, whatever it is. Yep. But if it's more than 1 year, then I think that matters a lot. And that's where, the upside of a guy like Giannis, the fact that Miami right now, it's like they don't have nearly enough shooting. Could you find that if you have the other things in place? I think if it's a multi-year decision, which is what I've always thought it was going to be, and LeBron seemed to put voice to it, that helped Miami's case quite a bit, that piece.
I think I agree with that. If you're playing more than 1 year, it does help Miami. I agree.
And it hurts who? The Warriors?
I think
the Warriors, I just think they don't have many moves they can make.
I think it hurts Cleveland. I think it makes more. I think if he was just like, I'm playing one last year, probably not going to win the title. If it just one last year, finish where I started. If this is my final chapter and I really am going to try to win the title, I think that hurts Cleveland more than, you know what I mean, than the others. And so, but again, I don't know, and they are not talking.
Professor Broussard will be here with grades for each of the team coming up in the second
Each of the
hour.
fits.
Each of the fits for the team. Sorry, not the outfits.
Not the uniform.
I thought the uniforms. Spain's the number one team in FIFA World Rankings. Other teams moving up. Brazil, Morocco, Belgium. Mexico popped into the top 10, taking Germany's spot. Moved down to 12.
Wow, we made our own graphic.
Switzerland up 5 to 14. The Swiss had a good run.
They had a good tournament.
Norway rode their way up 12 spots, all the way up to 19. USA up 1 from 17 to 16.
Yep.
Felt like we had a lot of passion just to move up one spot. Yeah. Could you see USA being a top 10 team by the next World Cup?
Leave this up, because we got to do some math here. I think Belgium could fall.
Belgium trounced them.
I understand, but they're old. They're old. De Bruyne's done. Lukaku's done.
They were old when we played them.
I understand, but they're old. I think we can definitely be as good as Mexico. Croatia's on the, we would assume, down tick because Luka Modric is done after this World Cup. Italy doesn't make a lot of sense. They miss the World Cup every year, but they win the Euros. Surprised. I don't understand. So here's the thing. I don't think it's crazy, Brou, that the U.S. could get into the top 10. My question is, would that actually matter if we're talking about them going on a real run in this tournament? Or does it feel like the top 5-ish teams are just levels better?
Type 4, I would say.
I mean, the top 4, yes, those were the last 4 to make it. But I'm saying, I meant because I think
Morocco's on another level.
Right, and I think Portugal could have been and maybe would, like, that there's just a handful of teams that are levitating above where we ever realistically could be within 4 years. That's the question I have.
I think that's very true. Like, one, I don't think we'll get in the top 10. I do think if we were to get in the top 10, it does mean we're playing great soccer and we're winning some of these tournaments or at least going deep or whatever. So our team would theoretically be better. But I still think going into the next World Cup, it'll be similar to this year where it's like, let's get in the top 8. Let's get in the final 8. And if we do that, it'll be great. But yeah, beating Spain, Argentina, any of those teams, like,
if we popped up into the top 10,
possible.
And then we had to play, let's suppose we just flipped with Mexico, right? We beat Mexico and we just flipped, let's just for fun. And then we had to play Colombia. I wouldn't feel good about that. Germany, we would get cooked. Croatia
wouldn't feel good either.
Switzerland, I just saw them just have a success. Italy didn't make it, but they'd probably beat us.
You're really so down.
No, but I'm just being honest where we're at. I think Japan, I feel okay about. Senegal, just because of the friendly we won. I don't feel good about Norway.
Just because of Holland? Because of
Heck yeah, because of Holland.
You know who else I wouldn't want to see? Cape Verde.
No, I actually like us. I like us where we're at.
Really?
Yeah, we're 16th.
We're an
man.
also ran.
That's just the way,
No,
so is England.
I get that's who we are, but I'm saying
England is not.
England has one World Cup.
You don't want to get to the point.
In how many years the World Cup's been going on?
96.
Okay, they got one.
But
we got zero.
this year they had a legit. They got to the four.
They were in third place. They were in third place.
You don't want to get to the level where we might actually.
I just
be
don't.
able to
I'm
win.
trying to be. I'm trying to be a realistic mountain. We're a Mountain West team. Like, man, we could play Alabama. Like, I don't know if we can. Just like, we can. We were scoring points. Like, all right.
Well, you were the
I want to play Georgia. Like, you don't want to play Georgia,
Spain.
not the country. That's what I'm saying. I stepped into it. We could be Boise State. Boise State.
They did 1 year.
We pop a little bit. Maybe we'll start playing on bluegrass. That's it. I'm happy being Boise State.
We're not even Boise State, though.
Well, buddy, we can't. You're not supposed to be Boise State.
We're Montana.
What if Boise State had a $1 billion NIL and the biggest student
Who do you want us to be? Who do you want us to be in college football? A realistic. And don't say Alabama or Michigan or Georgia.
Oregon.
We can't be Oregon with Dan Lanning.
No, what I'm saying, no.
One day?
New money. A team that had no real history.
Indiana?
I was just thinking about embarrassingly, my real long-term college football history knowledge is shaky. But I feel like the two kind of what I would call new money powers of the last 30 years are Oregon and Clemson. Two teams that were and that's why I'm saying maybe I'm
Clemson's
wrong. That were fine.
Oregon for sure.
And then Phil Knight was like, this team's going to be awesome. Like what T. Boone Pickens tried to do with Oklahoma State.
Yeah, Oregon
was like, we're just going to put more resources. We're going to force our way into it.
Yeah.
And even though you look at Oregon, you're like, you're not Notre Dame or USC or Texas or Alabama or those schools, Ohio State, Michigan. They forced their way into it. That's who, in theory, I'd like us to be.
The thing is, we don't have Oregon had access to the same players everybody else did, and with money could go get them. We don't have that same access.
I think that's correct. But you were asking me who I want us to be, and
that'd be nice. I don't think we can be Oregon.
My second question is, and this is again because the World Cup is just such a unique tournament in that it's been going on for 96 years. 8 teams have won it. You know what I mean? It's really 7 if you think about it, because Uruguay, has not been what it was the first winner, but in the newest World Cup power is Spain. Yeah. They're like the new, the least tenured champion. Now they're a multi-time champion. It really does frustrate me that we have not figured out why we can't be Morocco or Croatia. They do not have some storied soccer, long-term history like some of these other nations. They don't have it's not the number one singular obsession of the nations. It's not a money thing. It's not a population thing. Now, Luka Modric is one of the greatest players in world history. Hakimi is one of the greatest players in his position, currently of his era. It is just frustrating to me that we haven't been able to develop a guy like that, our own Modric or our own Hakimi, and then add to it the overwhelming resources advantages we have to where we can be, again, I don't know that Croatia or Morocco will ever win the World Cup, but they are in the mix now and have been consistently
Croatia's
in the mix.
13, so I think, sure, we could pop
But
up
Croatia's
to 13,
13, but
they were in a
Croatia,
final.
No, Croatia went to back-to-back semifinals and went to a final and then went to a semifinal.
I don't know if we're doing
under Modric. No, of course we're not doing that.
We're doing that.
We can't get to a quarters.
Saturday.
The only time we got to a quarters, we got to play Mexico in the round of 16. That's
U20.
why.
You want to get locked in? U20, USA, Haiti on FS2.
I mean, yes, we're going to beat Haiti.
We'll get locked in on the U20 squad. I'm going to quiz you on Monday. Live from New York is the show that's debuting new segments coming up today and tomorrow. I already invented a new segment, the Men in Black segment.
This is KW's way of saying he's in Summer Fridays.
I'm not in Summer Fridays. I am locked in like you wouldn't believe. You know how many notes I have on this Drake Maye thing? We're going to go into First Things First overtime, not even scheduled, just podcast exclusive. Talking about Super Bowl hangover. Second hour of First Things First today. Professor Broussard is here giving LeBron team grades for fit only, okay?
Yeah, this will be interesting.
Meanwhile, is Drake Maye going to suffer?
Brou is going to do a segment, and he previews it by saying this will be interesting.
Yeah. But he doesn't quite know.
Like, Bru's the one.
It was a
Brou knows what he's going to say.
Look at this. Did that get picked off? Oh, shoot. That was a good one. Usually that angle is like the touchdown angle. He did throw 200 yards in the fourth quarter.
Sacks. That's all
Wait till you see me break out that graphic
fumble?
as we get closer. It's his fault. He can do anything. Right now, for the first time in a few years, Patrick Mahomes has dropped out of the top QB spot in Jeremy Fowler's poll of the execs, coaches, and scouts. Josh Allen's got the top spot now. Mahomes spoke to Yahoo Sports Daily on moving back up to the top spot. Take a listen.
You understand it. I mean, coming off injury and we didn't play as well as we wanted to the last few years. You're going to drop in the rankings of some sort. But at the same time, there's a lot of good quarterbacks on that list, and I'm just happy to be a part of it. You know, you got to go out and prove it every single year. So it's my job this year to prove why I can jump up in the list back to number one.
I mean, shout out to Yahoo Sports Daily for getting Patrick Mahomes. But, man, that guy is not –
What?
He is not going to –
What?
He's just happy to be part of the list. He's so –
Hey, I'm in the top 10.
Hey, you know what? I'm in the NFL. Like, I don't know if I was
hoping I could win another Super Bowl.
I'm happy to be out there every day. I'm happy to be on the team.
The Cowboys should take notice right away.
Do you believe Patrick Mahomes will reclaim the number one spot?
Listen, obviously, yes, I do. I also think he is in an advantageous position because he has multiple ways to do it. So I think one way that he would do it is if he just has another awesome statistical regular season, almost independent of team success. Like if he has
Burrow-esque season.
Yes, if he has the year Joe Burrow had a couple years ago, I think because he has so much team success already, people would be like, okay.
You know he can win.
Right,
so
we know he can win. So, like,
Sure.
that would do it. But also because he has been such an absolute certainty in the postseason, the Eagles Super Bowl notwithstanding, I think if he has another, what you guys would call mediocre statistical regular season, but the Chiefs are good again, and then in the playoffs, he does what he has done 5 of the last 7 years, which is make the Super Bowl. And this graphic here, these is him in the playoffs during these down years. You know, so
the last 3 years.
The last 3 years. 1 year he didn't even make the playoffs, but it's the last 3 seasons. Yeah. So I'm not including the playoffs, the year he won the MVP without Tyreek Hill or any of that other stuff. So those are awesome statistical numbers. Not just that no quarterback has more than 4 wins. It's you're playing the best defenses in the league, and you're without a running game to speak of, without a star wide receiver. He does have Travis Kelce, obviously, and you're putting up these numbers. So I just think, Brou, for him, if he's awesome individually and the team struggles, I think a lot of people will be like, okay, he's back. And if he's mediocre individually, but the team succeeds and gives him the opportunity to be who he is every single postseason, it's going to be really hard. And this is what I want to ask you before you go. Let's say he has an 85 passer rating. Like, it just goes down again this year. And the Chiefs go 12-5. They're the 3 seed, win the division. And they make the Super Bowl. And in the playoffs, he does. And they're in the Super Bowl again. And it's another year where Lamar, Josh, Joe, none of them can beat him. That would be, and even in that scenario, and Lamar or Josh win the MVP, like have a crazy good year, it's going to be really hard for people to make the case if Patrick is sitting on 6 Super Bowl appearances that someone in his conference who's never been there is better than him, no matter what the touchdown interception ratio in the regular season is.
I agree. I agree with your 2 pass for him to reclaim the spot, and I think the latter one is the most likely. I'm not saying I'm picking them to get to the Super Bowl or anything like that, but I'm really intrigued because I was saying, wow, his decline statistically coincides with Eric Bieniemy leaving as offensive coordinator. Yep. All his great individual years came with Bieniemy there as OC. Now he's back. So I'm really intrigued to see, is there a jump? I don't know if there will be or not, but I'm really intrigued to see if there's a big jump for him. I also think, Nick, he won't presumably have the run like he has in the past or last year or the year before and stuff like that. So that's going to be interesting. I feel like he will not recapture the top spot next year. He may beyond that. But I do agree. I think it's like, so I'm saying I think he has a solid year in the regular season. I don't see a spectacular. I'd love to see it, and maybe that's what I'm saying. Bieniemy will help him make that jump again. But I'm not expecting it necessarily. But if they get to the playoffs, and to your point, his numbers jump, even if his numbers in the playoffs don't jump, but they win, he's going to get the credit as the guy orchestrating it, and he should. And I agree with you. He would. I still think he's the best quarterback in the league. But I think most people would have to say that if he could lead them to another Super Bowl.
It's a clarification, which I think is fun to talk about this topic. Because Josh got number 1, but I think they must vote 1 through 10. I'm not sure how they do it, but it's like weighted voting.
Yes.
So, glass half empty. More people think that Mahomes is not the number 1 quarterback of people who voted.
Yeah.
58% to 41%. At the same time, Mahomes got more number 1 votes than Josh. Oh. So Mahomes got 41.5.
Right, but
Josh got 34.
But somebody had Mahomes as low as 9.
9, and Josh, I think, was lowest was 4.
Right.
So however you want to view it. So when I was looking at this question, I'm like, well, he does have the most when Fowler was interviewing coaches, executives, and scouts. More people voted Patrick Mahomes number 1 than anybody else.
Correct.
So has he really lost his top spot?
Listen, here's the thing. I think we are in a tricky spot narratively when a lot of people have a lot of different opinions on who the best quarterback in football is. But almost everyone agrees. I think the majority of people agree if they are asked this question. Okay, you can have any quarterback in the league in the playoffs. Who do you want? He, I think, runs away with it.
It would be hard not to vote him.
And then when you add to it that, aside from Aaron Rodgers, who is in the very twilight, there isn't a player in the league who is more decorated in the regular season. Lamar's close. Lamar has 1 more All-Pro, so maybe you could argue, but he has 2 league MVPs. Nobody has more. You could argue nobody has had a better singular season than his first year as a starter of any of the current guys. Again, Rodgers' his own kind of category. And then the fact that all these other guys are all sitting on 1 Super Bowl win or 0. Jalen's got 2 Super Bowl appearances. Everyone else is sitting on 1 Super Bowl appearance or 0. And Patrick's sitting on 5 appearances and 3 rings. That is tough. But then the flip side to it, and I understand this, is if you did the blind stat test of him in the regular season the last 3 years removed wins. Because with wins, he's still as good as anybody. I mean, one of his down years, they went 15-1, and he was super clutch throughout those years, and we didn't think they had like a great running game, great receivers. Somehow they won all these games. but he's like the 12th best statistical quarterback in football over the last 3 years. But it also just feels like, yeah, but he's doing more with less, and he's asked to do more. And so, and Josh has the strongest case, which is why the 0-4 in the playoffs against Patrick is so tough for him. And the fact that there's only one game, the 13-10 game, where Josh has, played him equally in those games. All the other ones you've lost and been thoroughly outplayed. Mm-hmm. And he is the best case of anybody, I think, to be the best quarterback in football.
The ground seems to be moving, though, with like this locked-in Mount Rushmore of current quarterbacks, where
time moves on.
I know, but no one's aging out of it. But Lamar's down to the 69 on the NFL top 100. Josh is here. Burrow's not making the playoffs. I think he's going to move out. And if he doesn't have a great statistical year, I know you're talking about two paths. I don't know if a mind-blowing aerial assault is on the board with the weapons that you currently have. Do you?
The reason I won't rule it out is people have totally forgotten that the year he won, the last MVP he won, when they won their second Super Bowl, the year they beat the Eagles in that Super Bowl, his number one receiver was Marquez Valdes-Scantling. And he set the all-time record for single-season total yards by a quarterback. So, now, listen, Kelsey was a better weapon then than he is now. Sure. I understand that. But they did not have a dynamic running attack. Their running back was a 7th-round pick. Pacheco was a nice player, didn't run for 1,000 yards. Their number one receiver was, again, MVS. He was throwing to Jerick McKinnon out of the backfield, the running back.
I think that kind of.
Well, I think
that poisoned the personnel department. He can do it with anybody.
No, right. I agree with you, but my point is he doesn't have worse weapons than he had worse receivers than he had that year. And I just think the Kenneth Walker signing continues to be undervalued. I think it will change the way teams defend the Chiefs and open things up for Patrick more.
If he doesn't have a great individual year, unless they go win the Super Bowl or whatever, they got to get him
for Justin Jefferson.
You got to get him a top.
Then you trade 2 first-round picks
go ahead and get
for
him
Justin Jefferson.
I'll do that.
Yeah, that's what you do.
50 days till the start of the NFL season. 207 to the Super Bowl, Brou. Cowboys planning to be there. Here are 2 quotes. One from Coach Schottenheimer that we didn't discuss during the World Cup. It kind of flew under our radar. And a more recent one from Dak. Take a listen.
I make no qualms that's the goal. The Super Bowl next year is February 14th, 2027.
It'd be a perfect Valentine's Day.
Yes. In SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles, and we plan on being there.
That's always been my mindset. That's the one thing I truly love about the Cowboys organization and the fan base is it's that or nothing. That's what being a competitor is. If that's not how you're wired, if that's not how you think, whether you're a fan, whether you're a player, whether you're a coach, then I think you're in the wrong business. And honestly, I don't want you on my team. So I love those expectations.
Brou, did you like this from the Cowboys and Dak Prescott?
I'm going to let you guys in on a little secret.
Okay.
Well, you know this already. I'm picking the Cowboys to win the NFCs. It's in pencil, but it's half pin.
Oh,
it is.
I mean, this didn't help, but I got the Cowboys right now, NFCs. I have actually been toying, flipping it around in my head. Could this be the year the Cowboys actually get to the Super Bowl?
Yeah, it's that time.
I've been thinking about it, which I never thought I'd think about that since Deion Sanders and Michael Irvin were there, all right? But I don't like this. This bothers me. What do you think Andy Reid or Mahomes would have said if they were asked these same questions? Hey, we just got to go out there. It's a long road, it's a long season, but take it a day at a time.
I think they might have said, I love the expectations. I think Dak's
I don't think he would say it's February 14th. We're planning on being there.
Well, that's Schottenheimer.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I think Dak's comments are okay.
Oh, Dak's
first,
Dak
what we showed, and that comment by Dak, he was asked, I agree with Nick, that didn't bother me that much. Although he went a little further, which I don't think we showed, and they asked him, better chance this year of getting there than, oh, yeah, this is our best chance of getting there. Like, he went a little too far.
Okay.
I thought. And Schottenheimer really went too far. Yeah. February 14th, I understand. That's every team's goal. That's what the coaching staff is talking about. But it's been 30 years. Why do you have to say that? Well, y'all waiting for like I love it or something. No, I don't love it. All right? It's not coming. This is no misdirection.
Hey,
just the way that just your cadence throughout the whole 5 minutes. I'm like,
the way you're leaning, it's like a perfect diamond on your face.
There is no I love it coming.
Oh, I'm not saying I'll be ready for the show again.
I'm not saying I definitely won't pick him. I don't know, but I don't like this. You don't need to be like, if Mangini was here, what would he be saying?
Well, Mangini doesn't
take
like
it one game at a time. One practice. Let's get to training camp. Let's see what the defense looks like.
I agree.
KW, do you want to go?
No, I'm off kilter.
February. They've already booked. We booked our tickets. We told the players, the NFC Championship, don't pack an extra suit. We're going straight from there to the suit. What are we doing?
So listen, I understand that this does sometimes become like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like, the Cowboys haven't been to a conference championship game, let alone a Super Bowl, in 30 years. They are, we have that graphic I made of the NFC teams with the gold, silver, bronze.
Yeah, like that.
They are the least accomplished team in the conference now that the Lions have made a conference championship game of the last 30 years. Like, there's in the postseason, which is unbelievable. Yet, they are covered in a way that the Cardinals are not. So the Cardinals coach and quarterback are not constantly asked about the Super Bowl, so there aren't opportunities for them to talk about the Super Bowl. It's easier for them to be focused on the next practice because that's all anyone's talking about. So I do want to cut them some slack in that regard because it's easy to pile on. I will say this, while it does not seem that I am as high on the Cowboys as it seems Brou is, pardon me. I do think those odds that we're showing for them are a touch low. 16th best chance to win the Super Bowl, 8th best chance to win the conference, which means Vegas looks at them as decidedly the median team. 32-team league. There's 15 teams with better odds and 17 or 16 teams with worse odds, and the NFC 7 teams with better odds, 8 teams with worse odds. I think that is undervaluing the Cowboys, and I do think that if we were to remove this from public comments to private thoughts or discussions within the team, I do understand why in the building they might say, we absolutely could be the best team we've been since Dak's been here. If we did rebuild the defense on the fly, there's no reason to think Dak's ever been better than he is right now. He's fully healthy. We have 2 great receivers. Schottenheimer, I thought, was impressive as a year 1 coach. They then spent the resources on upgrading the defense after trading away Micah, and the NFC East feels open-ish, depending on what you think of Philadelphia and the very well-covered and well-written about Nick Sirianni and those Philadelphia Eagles. And, we kept George Pickens. They traded away A.J. Brown. Washington feels like it's all about, is Jaden healthy? But even if he is healthy, how good's the defense? And the Giants, got, gosh darn it. They got a couple of bros as their quarterback and running back. I don't know if they're ready to be a serious team yet. So it seems like the NFC East is open. So I understand why they would have Super Bowl expectations. I don't know if they should be saying.
Okay, we've got predictions week in about 5 weeks, Brou. We'll see if you're going from pencil to pen to permanent marker.
I've been pondering the Cowboys, but this is a check mark in the.
Well, we didn't know. It was a long setup for me. And
I really thought I was about to be.
Y'all were looking at me. I'm like, what do you?
Whenever you do the one elbow,
one elbow is what really threw me.
Welcome back to First Things First. LeBron is still looking at teams and won't be rushed, according to his agent, Rich Paul. We're going to bring in Professor Broussard for grades on how he'd fit with his potential team, starting with the Heat. Giannis got to look at some nice chairs.
That is sweet.
The chair?
Just the
that does look like
that
a nice chair.
They got a great locker room. A lot of
I wouldn't mind sitting on that chair.
And the trophies in them.
Oh, yeah.
That's nice.
All right, Brou, a grade for the Heat.
Okay, look, first of all, here are some of the things that went into that I considered when putting together my grades. The ring, chances of winning the championship.
Okay.
The fit with the players, the chemistry on the court and all that. What it would do for his image, right?
Okay.
Slash or legacy,
yeah.
right? And family, because I think that's a big consideration for him. That's what he said over the last week. All right, so Miami, you obviously have a great teammate in Giannis. All right, and I mean, imagine the pick and roll possibilities with Giannis and LeBron. Defensively, Nick, they would Bam, Giannis, and Andrew Wiggins, who might not be the defender he used to be, but still a
Davion
good
Mitchell,
defender.
too.
And Davion Mitchell is a good defender at the point guard.
LeBron would not have a lot of defensive
Yeah, he wouldn't have to
responsibilities on
worry
that
about
team.
that.
Yeah.
The issue, obviously they lack shooting. I know Tim Hardaway Jr., Mitchell's improved his three-point shooting last year, but I still don't consider him a great shooter. Wiggins is pretty good from three. But I just think there's a lack of shooting there. I think spacing could be an issue. And I also think LeBron and Giannis, I just think it would take a little time because Giannis can dominate the ball too. But now not like Luka, but still Luka at least was a great outside shooter. So that gives you some space. Whereas Giannis not being a great outside shooter, wanting the ball a lot, it'd be a little iffy. You got a great coach, though, great organization. And here's the other thing, Nick. They would be S-Bob. And I think this year people will give them a little leeway, but within 2 years they would have to win a championship.
I would not give them any leeway.
Okay, then that's fair.
Feel like I'm not giving
Giannis and
any,
LeBron,
yeah.
I get right. And more is it's on Giannis, but the pressure
Giannis
would be on
story.
LeBron too, because it's like you got Giannis and all that. So I think that if they didn't win it, do people look at that? You had Giannis, you had Luka, you didn't win. So I don't think that's great necessarily, the greatest thing for the legacy. I went B minus.
Oh, B minus.
B minus.
There you go, Brou. There's the
B minus.
Okay, B minus.
So I would switch this to an A minus.
An A minus.
Wow.
Yes, because I think just go through your own kind of rubric. I think it is less clunky legacy-wise than a team he's never been on. Than Philly or Golden State would be. It is not. I don't view the Heat, even though Giannis is the best player, as Giannis's team because he's never played there. So even if Giannis,
You think it becomes LeBron's team?
I think it's.
I think that ups the pressure on him, though, if that's the case.
Well, it's Giannis is the best player, but Giannis, he's not joining Giannis's team. They would both be joining this offseason. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's less about pressure and more about credit if they were to win. If you're going to get to Golden State later, let's say, and I don't think you're going to think Golden State can win it, but let's say they did. Understandably, if that happened, Steph Curry would get the lion's share of that credit. It's his team that LeBron joined. This, to me, is a little different. And the lack of shooting is a problem, but I think that a team with LeBron and Giannis has a high enough offensive floor that you can overcome lack of shooting if you're a great defensive team. And this is the only team of the four options that I think could be a great defensive team. I think this could be the best defensive team in the Eastern Conference at the very least. So I would put it A minus, a little unfinished
So we're
business.
going to go out to a B plus.
Yeah.
Final score.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
New look 76ers. Jaylen Brown joined the team that finished 7th in the East and ended the number 2 seeded Celtics season and Brown's partnership with Jason Tatum. Brou, A grade for LeBron in Philadelphia.
Grade on paper, okay, would be S-Bob immediately.
It's LeBob, to be fair.
I mean, S-Bob has it just fits.
Yeah, I agree
it just,
with that.
even
Well,
though
they're
it's
not
football.
going to win the Super Bowl.
But it just,
Yeah.
I wish I could think of a comparison, but, it fits. And that, again, if they didn't win it, that could, once there's pressure on them to win it, it could be a knock if
Do
they
you
don't.
think anybody that is to be taken seriously is going to be like, in year 24 at age 42, LeBron couldn't get it done? I know people will say it, but I'm saying, are they just fools?
I don't think they're expecting him to be the number one guy and lead them, but when they look at Embiid and all the rest and LeBron, some people will say that. So I think that's something to consider.
Okay.
I would not, because Embiid, he's going to be in and out of the lineup.
No.
And when you have a great player in and out of the lineup, it's tough. It's not like a role player. Put a role player in, so what? He's here to help
Change
break.
the way they play.
Yes, they'll play two different ways. And then I've said this before, you have 4 perimeter players who have, and I don't think they're selfish players, but they all going to have agendas. I think Maxey actually would have the least agenda.
Yeah, he already got paid.
He got paid. He's a star, but he also, I want to stay the star.
Yeah.
Jaylen Brown absolutely is going to have a chip on his shoulder and an agenda. And maybe not just for Boston, but for the whole league, which seems to be undervaluing him. Edgecombe is in his max. He's trying to prove I'm a star so I can get a max deal. And then LeBron didn't love, it appears, being the third option. Yeah. He's going to love being the fourth on occasion. I mean, I don't know where he'd fit in there. So I just think those are some issues. And then I didn't say this for the Heat. I meant to. The family. Are they going with you to Miami? Are they going with you to Philly? My guess is they would stay in L.A., my guess. So I think that's interesting. So my grade, it's a little better than the Heat. It's
better than the Heat.
It's a B. It's a B.
Huh.
Because they do have a lot. They do have some
on.
talent.
You had some positives for the
Heat. The positive is just that they got a lot of talent.
I just think that they're
great
better.
on paper.
I think if
they have more
am
talent.
I right in saying this? If he picked the Sixers, you would probably pick them to win the East.
I'm not sure of that, but they get some consideration.
And
you would pick the Sixers
they would get
to win
some
the East?
consideration.
I would or wouldn't.
Would you?
Would you?
I got to tell you guys something. I was thinking about this exact story, this question today on my own, about the Cavs, Sixers, and the Heat. And I did some soul searching about it. And you know what I came to the conclusion? Each of them is a LeBron James away from being the best team in the East. Like, I looked at it, and I was like, you know what?
So even the Heat you would have winning.
Yeah, I think Giannis and LeBron with Eric Spoelstra as the coach. Listen, the Knicks deserve deference, but it has been so hard to repeat and to even get back. If we're just going to assume that the Knicks are going to be like every other champion in the last 8 years, which is they're not getting back to the finals, which is not a fair assumption, but I'm saying if you remove that piece from the chessboard, would I be picking the Cavs and Donovan? No, I'm not picking them in a playoff series against LeBron and Giannis. Am I picking like you're saying, the Sixers without,
With or without?
The Sixers without LeBron and with Embiid being the question mark? No, probably not. Philly, to me, has the highest upside. It's also the weirdest. Yeah. And I don't know how much weird should matter. It's where I want him to go because
Philly. Okay.
But that's when I say where I want him to go. That is purely based on number of games I could personally attend. Like I just being able to being on the in the Northeast I think would be cool. But it's just the weirdest. And so I would have come in B-, but I'm not the professor.
Okay.
This team is not a world championship. They're actually better. Harden says, generally, I think we are the better team, but series-wise, we didn't show it. Cavs were swept, of course, by the Knicks, and in Game 4, they lost by 37, which was good because they were down 45 at one point in the fourth quarter. Brou, LeBron's fit with the Cavs.
Look, I love them on paper. I mean, you got 2 rim protectors, and Evan Mobley's a great defender individually, as is Jared Allen. I get it that Donovan Mitchell's not a great defender, but those 3 plus LeBron, I really like that. That's a team that has all the talent you need. They just haven't been mentally tough in the playoffs. LeBron would bring that, teach them how to win. And look, I know Harden is Harden a clunky fit, possibly. But with LeBron there, you know what? I don't rely on Harden in the playoffs now. And I can handle him scoring 8 points. All right?
That's what Danny was saying when he was like, it's a big four and he's the fourth option.
But if LeBron, absolutely. I mean, he is the fourth option, Harden. Now, if he wants to be a nice playmaker, great. But I am not, his 8-point game in the playoffs won't kill me because I got LeBron. And then, obviously, it's the storybook ending.
It's the best story.
All right, particularly for 1 year, but even for 2 or whatever. It's a great story. And, Nick, I think this. While I would give them as good a chance as the Heat or the Philly, and maybe better, of winning the East. I think I would give them a little better than those teams of winning the East. So I think they'd have a chance to win the East. And once you get there, hey, you got a shot. I don't think they would be viewed as SBOB. I think the storybook ending would outshine, is he going to win a championship there? Yeah. And I think he'd have a chance to get to the finals. But I think people would be so enamored with the story of him going back that would kind of outweigh.
I could see that.
Oh, are they going to win it? They're not playing well. Whatever. Man, he's back in Cleveland, So, and family, I'm presuming, could at least go back there. That's on the I mean, a lot of his extended family is already there. He's still got his house. They could live there and all that. So I think, and maybe there's a little bit of home cooking here, but let me give the grade first.
An A?
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
I just told you all the good reasons. And I got to do this. We got new batteries.
Yeah.
Now, last week, it didn't work for me. It did not turn on me. It was out of batteries.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, so this is where I hope LeBron goes. It'll be a great ending, great story. There we go.
That did make sense. Now, can I?
Why don't you get a little love from that? We got the batteries.
Since it got an A, and these are fresh batteries, right?
Yeah.
It's got it. Yeah, it's going to work. I'm glad it's going to work.
Are we ready?
I'm happy.
Okay. It didn't work.
It must be.
No, it might.
Yeah, let's see if it works.
Quick analysis.
I don't
and then
want. No, I
got
don't.
10 seconds.
The thing is this: I need Dusty. I need
You don't want him
45
going there?
seconds. Here's why I don't want to press the button. This is what I was rooting for in the beginning. I've waffled a bunch on this.
Yeah.
And at one point I thought, like I think you think now, which is this is also the most likely outcome. I don't know that I think that anymore. Here is why I am, and I'm shocked by this, but I am leaning Miami. I believe Cleveland, Philly, or Miami with LeBron can win the East. In Cleveland or Philly, if they were to make the finals, the guy who's going to have to match whomever the Western Conference juggernaut that shows up, their best player, is LeBron. And in Miami, it's
You mean
not.
Defensively?
No, I'm saying I'm saying you know what I mean? Who's going to be our best guy in the
would be
finals?
their best player?
I'm just saying I'm not going to try, if it's like, hey, our best guy is Donovan Mitchell, trying to take down the Spurs. No disrespect. I guess it's a little disrespectful to Jonathan. I don't mean it to be. Our best guy is Jaylen Brown trying to take down the Spurs. No, it would be LeBron.
Well, Jaylen won a championship.
No, I understand, but I don't think he was the best guy on that team, even though, and that team to me was more fully formed. If he's in Miami, it's like, all right, we're taking on the Spurs, the Thunder, or whomever. Giannis is the in his prime superstar. And LeBron is the absolutely, I think, overqualified wingman for that. As opposed to these other places, I think he'd have to be the lead guy. And in year 24 or 25, if we're talking about these 2 years, that's asking a lot, man. It's asking a lot.
Coming up after the break, will Drake Maye have a Super Bowl hangover?
God, I've been waiting all World Cup to do this topic.
Where you want him to go?
He wants Golden State.
Golden State, I think, is the best story.
Really? Better than Cleveland?
Just
don't get mad because the button doesn't
Cleveland. Saturday night is baseball night on Fox. Ohtani, Soto, Dodgers, Mets. Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern, only on Fox. Headed back to the gridiron. 50 days until the Super Bowl rematch, Seahawks-Patriots in Seattle. Drake, with a stoic answer on lessons learned from the Super Bowl performance, quote, "I have to play better. You give your best. Sometimes things don't go your way." Well, you're exactly right. That's a good life lesson.
Yeah.
Super Bowl hangovers, I'm a big believer in them, very real. Last 30 Super Bowl losers, 13 missed the playoffs, 17 made the playoffs. 11 won a playoff game. Patriots won a playoff game, won a few of them. Ended up making the Super Bowl, winning the Super Bowl, actually. Does anyone think a Super Bowl hangover is on the board or more than on the board for the mighty New England Patriots?
Well, I'm talking about Drake Maye specifically.
Oh, I thought it was
May's
a Patriots
Super Bowl
specific
hangover on the board.
Oh,
No,
Drake Maye,
no,
no
it was
way.
Drake Maye. It was going to be the Patriots, and then we saw him throwing these picks to little kids in his camp, and we were like, you know what? The hangover for him is more than on the board. Just so you can show the funny video or the good graphic, I don't care which. Because here is, there's the video. I mean, this is
He got picked by
just pick
like
six.
a
And
little
the
boy.
kid high steps him.
Pretty
That was
nice,
pretty
actually.
solid. I mean, again, I'm not
developing
saying
talent.
What's going on?
I'm not
Like Team
saying
USA
it's
out there.
everything, but it's a small data point. Here's a bigger data point. The last 10 quarterbacks to lose a Super Bowl, or last 10 times a quarterback has lost a Super Bowl, because Patrick's on there twice. Every single one of them, the passer rating, I just picked that because it's kind of the catch-all. Wow. Every single one of them, the passer rating dropped. Wow. 10 for 10. Now, Drake is, had a historically great passer rating last year. He also had a historically big drop in the postseason, regular season postseason. That's what that little line is. 31.3 point drop. It's the worst in the last 30 years. And I don't know this is true, but I imagine that's just as far back as the data goes.
Sure.
It might not actually be as far back as the data goes. So, yeah, I mean, I think a young quarterback who had been sailing so high, who had a rough postseason and then a very rough Super Bowl, with more expectations plus a tougher schedule, yeah, I think 9-8 and not being a Pro Bowler after being the league, a second in MVP is, a more than 5% slice of the outcome pie.
Oh, sure.
And so, yeah, I think it's, even though I liked May, I think that's really on the board.
It's absolutely on the board. It's absolutely on the board for a few reasons. One, it's not unusual these days to see a young quarterback, have a great season and then struggle. C.J. Stroud, Jaden Daniels, could happen to Drake. Two, Nick mentioned it, the schedule. Last year, Wilds, this is what your boy did against winning teams last year.
Gosh, KW's going to get mad.
It wasn't pretty. The losing teams, he cooked. 13-1, 118 pass rating. Against winning teams, they played 7. 8, the passer rating just plummeted. Even the completion percentage, which you love, he struggled there.
Yes.
And touchdown interceptions, 8-6, not something we like.
8-6 is that's to me the most jarring of the stats.
Yeah, versus 29-6.
I mean,
and here's the deal. Last year,
you lost to the Bills and in the Super Bowl.
Look, you only played 3 games last year of the 17 in the regular season against winning teams.
I know, but it's not.
This year,
the Steelers
and the Bills
the
twice.
Yeah. Yes.
This year, 11 of your games are against teams with winning records.
That had winning records.
Last year. But and one of the teams that didn't is the Chiefs.
Yeah.
So the schedule's going to be so tough. That's why when Nick brings up the 9-8, that is not
it's
disrespect.
Not an insult.
They have a murderer's row type schedule. So I don't know if it'll be hard if the stats drop a ton. But this was a take that Nick mocked me on when I unveiled it.
I agree with this.
I think he agrees too inside.
I think everyone agrees
I
with
think
this take.
Drake could be better. I brought it out with Brock Purdy.
Correct.
He could be a better quarterback this year, but the numbers aren't the same. Now, if they go so far south, that's one thing. But if they're just not as good, then he still may be a better quarterback.
100% agree.
Right.
KW's got an hour of
Nick
material.
agrees.
Well, I have a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I want you to do it before.
Well, look, I'm not going to come out fire breathing. I believe in Super Bowl hangovers. So I do think that is a real possibility. I don't think it's going to be a doomsday scenario like you guys might paint. So I tried to look at why teams, not necessarily quarterback specifics, have struggled or have been bitten by the Super Bowl hangover bug. The first one is just you played a lot of games. Maybe you were a little bit of an older team. Injuries get you. The Chiefs last year, Mahomes is done. The 49ers seem to always, pop and then get hurt. They went 6-11 when Brock only played a few games. Burrow obviously gets hurt. The other 49ers team, which had CJ.
Burrow didn't get hurt after the Super Bowl. They made it back to the AFC Championship game.
After the Super Bowl?
Yeah, they went to the Super Bowl and then they played the AFC Championship game. Then the next year he got hurt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I screwed that one up.
No, you're
but I think our depth around the O-line, and hopefully we have enough depth, and we're a young team, maybe we avoid the injury bug. But if you get hurt, you get hurt. I don't think there's anything you can do about it. Coaching instability is one. Supernatural funk. Eagles make the Super Bowl, lose. Both coordinators bounce. Supernatural funk stays. We actually got more coaching because Zach Kurz remains the DC. Josh didn't go anywhere.
But an odd offseason for the main coach. An odd one. That's KW. It hasn't been a smooth sailing offseason for your main coach. He wasn't at the draft for a reason.
Day 3.
I'm just saying.
Look, could have been a little better.
Yeah.
Could have been a little smoother. Sure.
Okay.
Do I think it's a little bit blown out of proportion?
Maybe. I'm just saying. Just saying at least a little odd. But go ahead.
It's a little odd. I will give.
The good news is that it seems to have passed.
Yes.
We'll see. At least,
yeah. Final one. Do you really think? I think it was looking at guys or teams that didn't really get hit by the injury bug or didn't really have coaching instability. The other category I put was, did you hit your ceiling as a squad when you made the Super Bowl? Cam's Panthers, Matt Ryan's MVP year, the Rams making the Super Bowl, losing. They're like, Jared Goff can't take us any further. I don't know if anybody thinks Drake Maye in year 3 or in year 2 has hit his ceiling and won't improve.
No, go ahead.
As a player, not talking numerically. I could see him going through his whole career and never being a vote. Second
MVP.
No, I think that's the one addendum that I think counts that would go against the Patriots is there aren't many teams that make the Super Bowl that the next year aren't favored to win their own division. And that I think one thing that is, it works against the Patriots is they might have a top 3 quarterback in the league.
Sure.
They're in a division with a team that definitely has one of those guys.
Definitely.
Like their path back to the Super Bowl might be all road playoff games and all of that, which can be a very difficult, road to hoe.